Hello friends, welcome to the video lesson that is the National Knowledge Commission 2006 to 2009. Before starting our discussion, let me to introduce myself. I, Dr. Niradhar, Associate Professor, School of Education, Indira Gandhi National Open University. Welcome you all to this video lesson. Friends, today this lesson is included in the 8th unit, the 8th week of your online course. The title of this module is Development of School Education in 1986 and After. In this module, 3 important lessons are there. First lesson is National Policy on Education, NPE 1986 and National Education Policy NEP 2020. Already you have gone through this lesson, and the second lesson, that is National Knowledge Commission 2006 to 2009, that we are going to discuss today in this session. And the next lesson from this unit, from this module is National Curriculum Framework NCERT 2005, that includes National Curriculum Framework mostly for teacher education, that's called as NCFTE, National Curriculum Framework for Teacher Education 2009. So now let us focus upon the second lesson, that is National Knowledge Commission NKC 2006 to 2009. Let me to focus upon some of the learning outcomes from this lesson. I am very much hopeful that after watching this video lesson and going through the part E content which is given in your module, you will be able to explain the concept of knowledge pentagon as per the NKC, National Knowledge Commission. So, what is the concept of knowledge pentagon? Then further discuss the important aspects of education as per National Knowledge Commission. Further, you will be able to describe the key recommendations of National Knowledge Commission, and you will be equally critically analyze the recommendations of National Knowledge Commission. I am very much hopeful that after going through this video as well as the part content which is given in your module, definitely you will achieve these learning outcomes. Now let me to go forward to understand the very concept of the National Knowledge Commission, which is popularly known as NKC 2006 to 2009. It was established in 2006 and NKC has given subsequently few reports, and 2009 reports are the final report of NKC. The National Knowledge Commission is a high-level advisory body to the Prime Minister of India with the objective of transforming India into a knowledge society. Friends, particularly starting from school education to higher education, what transformation is required, how you can say new shape can be given to higher education, that was the major focus of NKC 2006 to 2009, and it has given many recommendations, many suggestions to prepare a knowledge society who are well versed with the developing nature of science and technology, developing nature of knowledge in different field. You can say it may be in education, it may be pedagogy, it may be science and technology, it may be agriculture, it may be law, it may be management, in other sectors also. Then further, it was an endeavor to transform the knowledge landscape of India. So here you must have observed that so far as the equality of knowledge is concerned, you can say that now we have achieved equity and equality so far as knowledge is concerned. Okay, if you will go through different parts of the country, if you will go through the remote India, the rural India, and if you will go through the school education, even if the colleges that are established at the Tahsil area, at the Panchayat level, even at the block level, you will find that the parity of education and the standard of education, there may be certain difference. So that's why how to achieve equality so far as knowledge is concerned at a different level of education, at different stages of education, it was also one of the important concerns of National Knowledge Commission. And further, NKC focuses on areas of 5 different areas that's called as the knowledge pentagon, that is access to knowledge, then knowledge concepts, knowledge creation, knowledge application, as well as knowledge services. Further, we will be explaining detail about what is the very concept of access to knowledge, then knowledge concept, knowledge creation, knowledge application and knowledge services, which is called as a knowledge pentagon. Here you see on your screen, now you see knowledge pentagon. It includes 5 different aspects of knowledge. One is called as the access to knowledge, to provide access of education to the learners, to the students, even if to the population, to the common people even. Then further, what is the concept of knowledge? To understand the very concept of certain aspect of knowledge, okay. And further, how to create knowledge, and after creating, how to disseminate knowledge from one situation, from one generation to other generation, mostly for the development of the society. Then for the knowledge application, so how to apply those knowledge for our own development, for the development of the society. It may be knowledge relating to agriculture, it may be knowledge relating to teaching and learning process, it may be knowledge relating to management and other disciplines also. Then knowledge services, okay. So friends, these are the certain 5 different aspects. NKC says that this is the knowledge pentagon. So how to achieve this knowledge pentagon? Now let me to focus upon the particular aspects, the important things that includes in each knowledge pentagon. Just like first is access to knowledge, to provide access to knowledge to each and every individual, each and every learner, each and every students who are pursuing a certain academic program. And at the same time, beyond the periphery of the school, beyond the surrounding of the school, even if there is possibility of gaining enough knowledge in formal way, in non-formal way also. So how to do this? So here individual must possesses the ability to receive and comprehend knowledge. So all individual is having that ability, that's called as every individual can construct his or her own knowledge. So that's why we have to provide certain support services to them, we have to provide certain experiences, and we have to facilitate to the learners, to the students, so that they can comprehend the knowledge, they can understand the very concept of knowledge, and further after understanding it, they can use it. Individuals who have the ability to receive and comprehend knowledge readily obtain it. So friends, who is having the ability to receive, first of all to receive with a positive willingness, with certain interest, okay, and further the individual can also comprehend it, develop a type of comprehension, develop a type of understanding, and that willingness, if the individual is happily accepting to understand the knowledge, then they can obtain it also, they can understand it also. Further, accurate knowledge of the state and its activities should be made available to the general public. So try to understand, first of all, what is the right knowledge, what is the accurate knowledge, okay. So you can take the example of any concept, you can take the example of any, you can say, theories. So what is the very concept of that theory, what the theory says, okay. So first of all, so how to make that right knowledge to the general public, that is also comes under the access to education, access to knowledge. And further, access is about increasing the opportunities of individuals or groups excluded from mainstream knowledge system. So it is also come under the access, that the population, the groups, the learners who are not in the mainstream of the society, who are not, you can say, in the school surrounding, who has not received a proper formal education. So, how to make education, how to make knowledge reach at them. So, that is also another important aspects come under access to knowledge. And to understand about the very concept of knowledge, let me to focus upon suitable education system relies largely on a complex interface of human resources, pedagogical methods, curricula, infrastructure and academic standards. So, try to understand. Unless we understand a concept, we cannot use it, we cannot disseminate it. So, that is why friends, here suitable education system relies largely on a complex interface of human resources. So, how to use the human resources, how to develop the human resources, and how to use proper pedagogical methods to disseminate and to teach or to transact the curriculum, and further how to develop a suitable curriculum, a curricula for a particular stages of education. Then accordingly, what type of infrastructure is required. So, infrastructure is somehow related with the academic standard, related with to provide right education to the students, to the learners. So, that is why it comes under the knowledge concept. Further, special initiatives required to bring 100 millions of illiterate children into the mainstream. Okay, so to educate them, to provide them right knowledge. So, who are not within the boundary of formal education, or to whom we call as the illiterate, who has not received the formal education. So, how to address them also. So, what special initiatives should be taken at the to bring them to the mainstream of the society. Okay. So, that is also come under to provide them education and to involve them in acquiring certain skills and to earn or to achieve bread and butter aim. Then further strengthening basic infrastructure in elementary schools, boosting teaching quality and improving academic standards are also come under the knowledge concept. So friends, at the elementary schools, strengthening the infrastructure, it comes under the physical infrastructure as well as the human resources, appointment of the subject teachers, appointment of adequate teachers to teach the students. That will boost teaching quality and improving academic standards also. For the secondary education needs to be recognized as a crucial intermediary step between elementary and higher education. You see, the concept of knowledge, or you can say the minimum level of knowledge, or what is required, the very knowledge or the very concept, the skills and competencies that we call as the graduated skill, which is meant for a particular stage, a particular level of education. Unless we achieve, unless we receive the minimum level of learning at the elementary stage, we are not in a position to understand the concept of knowledge which is included at the secondary stage. And further, secondary stage knowledge will also help to understand the concept, understand the subject which is included at the senior secondary stage. Accordingly, a proper senior secondary stage subject treatment will also equally help you to understand the concept, to understand the things which is included in the higher education. So friends, then further I can say that the innovative strategies are required to make secondary education less strenuous and more appealing to the students. So how innovatively we can involve the population, we can involve the students for understanding the knowledge and accordingly to use, to apply those knowledge in day-to-day life situation. And it also includes requirements of proper funding, regulatory frameworks and curricula, private sector participation, then academic standards and research in higher education. It also stresses upon consolidating and extending India's growing international presence in information and technology sector, in medicine, in law, in engineering, etc. So, knowledge is not limited in a single discipline, rather in every discipline, how to understand the proper knowledge, how to understand the right knowledge. Then requirements of vocational education for quality skilled force is also another important aspect. Then formal education is for building human capital is also record as one of the knowledge pentagon comes under the knowledge concept. Then develop distance education as a viable alternative to formal education. Only formal education cannot possible or cannot satisfy the need of the population, the need of the people. We have a huge country, nearly 140 crores of populations are there. So that's why how to integrate vocational education in the formal education system, in the school education system, so that the students, the learners, when they will pursue a program, pursue a course, equally they will also earn, they will also gain, they will also acquainted with certain skills and competencies. And further, those skills and competencies will help the learner for to be self-sufficient and to fulfill the bread and butter aim of their life. Then lifelong learning needs to be encouraged for all types of jobs, especially in the public sector. Okay, so here we are not talking about only the formal education, rather it should provide us a sense of lifelong learning. Every stages of life we record to know certain things, to understand certain things, to develop our skills and to upgrade our skills also. That is very much possible through the lifelong learning, Then further, transacting knowledge into local languages for ensuring knowledge is uniformly available in society and a local knowledge is made available for use and analysis. So how to use the local knowledge? So how to integrate, how to include the local experiences as well as the local knowledge? It may be related to art and culture, may be related to languages, may be related to craft. How to integrate it with the curriculum? Okay, so that also come under knowledge concept. And next, let me to focus upon the knowledge creation. Okay, so try to understand what are the different things that come under the knowledge creation. So it includes for promoting research in an institution of higher education in order to bring them at par with the National Research Institute and the laboratories, link research in public institutions with industry requirements to foster a symbiotic relationship between them, diversify the funding sources of research in institutions and universities, allowing private investment or public-private partnership in research and development. So friends, here knowledge creation is given importance. Only understanding the knowledge concept is not enough. Rather, we have to, or our education system should train the population, train the people, that they will be able to create knowledge for the use of next generation that can be transmitted from situation to situation and generation to generation. Then further promoting innovation through the National Innovation Foundation, they encouraging entrepreneurship at the local and national level is also another important aspect. Then further knowledge application. So here the knowledge that you have acquired, so how to apply it for satisfying the productive purpose. Just like knowledge can be productively applied to promote technological changes and facilitate the reliable and regular flow of information. So how to use the created knowledge for promoting technology and for bringing development and to fulfill the aim of certain productive concept or productive aspect of the society. The knowledge can be very effectively applied for the betterment of the rural poor. So how to connect it and how to change the life, the standard of life of the rural people. So that is also come under when we will apply the created knowledge, that can also be possible. The National Knowledge Commission has identified the areas such as education, agriculture, rural and traditional knowledge, where knowledge application will produce significant benefits. And finally, the last knowledge pentagon, that's called as the knowledge services. What it says? It says the use of knowledge services, more popularly known as e-governance, that has the potential to simplify citizens' interact with the state. So how to disseminate knowledge to the rural India by the government by using the knowledge services that's called as the e-governance, so that the people of the country, they should understand the very concept of certain things, and they can better, after understanding, they can better use it in their own situation. Then ending the culture of fear in the people who often find themselves completely at the mercy of frontline government officials while trying to access public services. Try to understand. So here a belief should be established among the common public that they should come forward and they should get proper knowledge. Further, that knowledge acquisition, proper knowledge acquisition will help the person for bringing development in his or her own life, in their own life. Okay, so that's why the common public should come forward and they should understand the very concept of certain things. It may be related to agriculture, it may be related to science and technology, it may be related to certain art and literature or craft, and further how to engage them for doing their own work. And further, technology provides us with an opportunity to ensure accountability, transparency and efficiency in government services, including education. It is also another important aspects come under the knowledge services. So friends, these are the 5 important knowledge pentagon, and the entire report of National Knowledge Commission is based upon this knowledge pentagon. And now let me to focus upon the important aspects of NKC recommendations, National Knowledge Commission recommendations. Mostly you will find the recommendations are based upon 3 important aspects of education, that is expansion, excellence and inclusion. Okay, so how to expand knowledge, then how to include the varieties of practices, as India is a diversified country. We have many diversities, but we consider all our diversities as our strength, not as our weaknesses. Our diversities help us for our own growth, for our own grooming and for our own development. So that's why expansion of knowledge, inclusion of diverse concept of knowledge, and further to you can say achieve excellence by right practice of knowledge are the 3 important aspects basing upon which recommendations are given by the National Knowledge Commission. Now let me to focus upon the very concept that address in different aspects. Just like expansion includes massive expansion of 1500 universities nationwide that would enable India to attain a gross enrollment ratio of 15% by 2015. Now in NEP 2020, it says that to reach 50% gross enrollment ratio by 2030. But in NKC, it was targeted that to reach at least at the 15% of gross enrollment ratio by 2015. And further establishment of an independent regulatory authority of higher education, IRAHE. So now this is also part of the new education policy to develop a regulatory body, and the other regulatory body will come under the IRAHE. Then increase public spending and diversify sources of financing. So how to bring the financing and how to spend in diversify sources also. And further, the expansion of the system of higher education is not possible without enhanced level of financing both at the public and private sector. So how to enhance the finance, how to arrange the finance and use it in education, and further establishment of 15 national universities that can provide education of the highest standard. Okay, national universities means the central universities. So it's come under how we can expand the education system as per the need of the huge population of this country. Then further excellence. So how to achieve the quality, how to achieve the excellence. The endeavor to transfer higher education must reform the existing institutions, the existing higher education institutions. So how to reform them, how to bring them changes, and how to come forward with a paradigm shift so far as the facilities that the institution is providing. So how the institute will provide better functionings. So that excellence how to achieve. Then further, the system of affiliating colleges for undergraduate education, which may have been appropriate 50 years ago, is no longer adequate or appropriate and needs to be reformed. Indeed, there is an urgent need to restructure the system of undergraduate colleges affiliated to universities. The old institutions, the institutions which completed 50 years now, there is the time to go for a complete revamp of the institution. It was come under the excellence, that is to achieve the quality and to provide quality education to the students. And further, an expansion of higher education which provides students with choices and creates competitions between institutions is going to be vital in enhancing accountability. So how the institution will develop at the parity, how universal or you can say similar types of development will occur in institution to institution is also another important aspect. And so far as inclusion is concerned, let me to focus upon education is the fundamental mechanism of social inclusion. So the social practices, our culture, our custom, our tradition, our belief, and at the same time our craft and trade that we practice, the traditional craft and trade that we practice in our society, in our life. So how to integrate it in the education system so that we can create a good generation who will well versed with the traditional knowledge as well as traditional practices. And further, it is essential to ensure that no student is denied the opportunity to practice in higher education due to financial constraint. So how to provide them financial facilities so that they can get better education. Major aim of higher education system must be to ensure that access to education for economically and socially underprivileged students is enhanced in a substantial, more effective manner. So how to address the downtrodden, how to address the poor people by providing quality and better education to them. It was also focused point, and that can be possible if our education system is very much integrated and inclusive in nature. And now let me to focus upon very briefly some of the recommendations of National Knowledge Commission 2006 to 2009. First of all, the Commission recommended to establish or for the establishment of 1500 universities to attain the gross enrollment ratio of 15% by 2015. So how to achieve it? So more universities should be established, and it was recommended to establish 1500 universities. The revision of curricula once in every 3 years. So in every 3 years, the syllabi, the curriculum should be revised in different programs. Then supplementing annual examination with internal assessment. For transforming the examination system, the evaluation system, how to include more internal assessment so far as for certifying the learner is concerned, so far as evaluating their achievement is concerned, was also another important recommendation. Then transition to a course credit system. So how to develop the curriculum, develop the course as per different credit, and how to define the credit also was also important recommendation. And further establishment of a Central Board of Undergraduate Education, CBUE, Central Board of Undergraduate Education. Then accordingly, State Board of Undergraduate Education was also important recommendation. And in State Board of Undergraduate Education, all the undergraduate colleges will have one board, that may be the State Board of Undergraduate Education. And further establishment of independent regulatory authority of higher education, that's called as IRAHE, by an act of parliament. And other regulatory bodies just like the AICTE, All India Council for Technical Education, Medical Council of India, MCI, Bar Council of India, BCI, NCTE, National Council for Teacher Education, and other regulatory bodies that will come under the independent regulatory authority for higher education. Then IRAHE shall have the power to set and monitor standards, our degree, and licensing the accreditation process or accreditation accreditation for different courses and different programs. And other recommendations of NKC are just like knowledge and information dissemination in a higher education system. So, how to reach the right knowledge from one group to another group, from one individual to another individual, and how to reach them to the needy students, to the right clientele, how to disseminate it from one situation, from one place, from one institution to other institute, from students to student. Then evaluation of courses by teachers and students. So, here how to involve students in peer assessment, how to involve students in group assessment was also for bringing transformation in the or transparency in the system of evaluation so far as the courses that the learners are pursuing was also important recommendation. Then eliminating salary differentials within and between the universities. If we talk about the state university and central university, even if within a university in different level of the faculties, some are permanent, some are ad hoc. So, how to eliminate and how to minimize the gap between salaries institution to institution, even if in one institute in different stages of education was also important recommendation. And policies for entry of foreign institute in India and promotion of Indian institutions abroad. It was very important recommendation that how to promote foreign institutions to open their campuses, open their courses in India, and how to promote our institutions, Indian universities and institutions, so that they can also run their campuses abroad. So, that was also important recommendation. So, friends, now let me to focus upon some of the important questions that may help you for your preparation of NTA exam, that is explain the concept of knowledge pentagon as per NKC. We have already discussed that 5 different aspects of knowledge pentagon. Then discuss important aspects of knowledge recommendations. 3 important aspects were there. Excellence, expansion, we have already discussed. Then critically examine the recommendations of NKC for development of education in India. So, friends, just to recapitulate, today we discussed the National Knowledge Commission and its recommendations 2006 to 2009, and we also discussed about the very concept of a knowledge pentagon and different aspects of the recommendations of National Knowledge Commission. It may be expansion of knowledge is concerned, it may be excellence in knowledge is concerned. I think this lesson will help you to understand the concept and further to attend the NTA examination so far as the module is concerned. Thank you.